Right now, we're counting down the hours to kick off for tomorrow's Badger football game. If you're attending, we have everything you need to know to make getting inside the stadium as easy as possible.
A heat wave is on the way for the holiday weekend ahead. I'll let you know just how hot it's going to get.
And it's not just the football team getting ready for tomorrow. Bars and restaurants near Camp Randall are doing so as well. We'll share how some are preparing for a busy Saturday. Those stories and more right now on News 3 Now at 6. Thank you for joining us. Wisconsin Badgers football is so close to being here. We are less than 24 hours away from kickoff at Camp Randall versus Buffalo. And we have team coverage with what you need to know ahead of tomorrow's season opener. Braden Ross is outside the stadium this evening with what Badger fans need to know if they're attending tomorrow's game. But first, we've been warning you all week that another round of heat is on the way, and it's just about here. Alert days still in the forecast for the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti shares how hot it could get in his first warn forecast.
Well, Charlotte, today was just a little bit of a tease. We warmed up into the 80s, but tomorrow will be even hotter. And of course, it's the first Badger home game of the season. The forecast for Camp Randall, for those of you heading out there, well, it's going to be hot. The excitement will be there with the Luke Fickler starting, but temperatures will be up in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees through the entire game with partly sunny skies. Lots of sunshine means lots of heat. People that are going to be out in the sun are just going to have to protect themselves, wear sunscreen, try to get in the shade as much as possible. It'll be a little breezy for those people lucky enough to be in the breeze, but just stay hydrated. Have your alcohol after the game because obviously you don't want, alcohol just doesn't help when you're very hot and dehydrated. First warn weather alert days are in the forecast through Tuesday, Saturday through Tuesday, for near record high temperatures as well as the potential for some wildfire danger as well. Visible cloud track shows just how clear it is across southern Wisconsin. Low temperatures this morning because of the dry air started out 42 in Camp Douglas, 50 in Madison, and 48 in Janesville. But look at how those temperatures warmed up. It went from 42 in Camp Douglas to 84 this afternoon. Madison went from 50 to 80, and Janesville went from 48 to 84. Right now, temperatures are still right around 80 through southern Wisconsin, a little cooler east of Dane County, but here in Dane County, 81 in Verona, 80 in Sun Prairie, and 80 in Stoughton. Look for mostly clear skies this evening. Temperatures dropping off to the upper 60s by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at specifically how hot it'll get and whether we could set any records over the next few days.
Tomorrow is set to be one of the hottest games in Camp Randall history, and if you're planning to jump around at the stadium, there are a few things you should know before you go. Braden Ross joins us live from Camp Randall with a full breakdown of your Badger Game Day guide. Braden?
Yeah, Charlotte, I spent the whole day out here at Camp Randall, nearby and downtown, talking to people about their best tips. These are the Badger veterans, the people who come to these games all the time. I learned from them what their best tips are. And of course, the first thing they told me, get here early. Any Badger fan will tell you there's nothing like the first jump around of the season.
The Badgers are so much fun. It is one of the best stadiums and one of the best college football experiences in America.
But before you get into the stands, there are a few tips experts want you to know. UWPD Assistant Chief Brent Plish has been working Badger games for almost 20 years. His biggest tip?
Show up early, find parking early, make your way to the stadium early, and get into the gates of the stadium early.
And on a hot day like Saturday,
drinking plenty of water, getting a lot of fluids in your system that are non-alcoholic things would be really smart for fans to do.
There are also a few changes coming to Camp Randall this season. All gates now have weapons screening machines you'll have to walk through on your way in. And like last year, all tickets are virtual, so make sure to keep your phone charged. Ken Dortzbach has been coming to Camp Randall since the 70s. That means his tips are pretty well researched.
Park far away and walk. We love walking down State Street to the game, going to the South Union, and then also sometimes if you stay for the fifth quarter, it's fun to walk back with the band, back to where they put their instruments, because it's kind of cool because you can march along with the band.
His best advice: just enjoy it.
My two favorite moments of any game is one when the team comes running out of the tunnel, which is super exciting, and my other favorite moment is the jump around in between the third and the fourth quarter. You have to make both of those for sure.
Now again, like Gary just told you, it's going to be really hot out here tomorrow, so you want to make sure you're staying hydrated, especially if you're going to drink. Make sure you're sipping that water all day too. You can bring in two sealed water bottles into Camp Randall today. That's a special rule just for this game since it's going to be so hot. One last tip from me though, this is directly from me. This is the best part of the games. You have to get a pretzel. You can see them over my shoulder, that truck. You have to get a pretzel. It's the best thing. But for now, I'm at Camp Randall. Braden Ross for News 3 Now.
Braden, thank you so much. And if you have tickets for tomorrow's game, you don't want to be turned away at the gate because of your bag. A reminder, Camp Randall Stadium has a clear bag policy. Take a look at your screen. These are the bags that are allowed in. Each ticket holder is allowed in one small clutch purse and one large clear bag, either a 1-gallon clear Ziploc style storage bag or a clear tote bag. If you are a season ticket holder, Wisconsin Athletics has already mailed you one complimentary clear tote bag when they sent out your season tickets. And here's a look at the schedule of events ahead of kickoff tomorrow. This graphic was shared by the Badgers on X. The Arch March begins at 12:15 and gates to the stadium open at 1. That's 90 minutes ahead of the kickoff versus Buffalo. Well, tomorrow, as you've heard, is going to be a hot one, and Wisconsin Athletics really wants you to be safe. Hydration is key here. You will be allowed to carry a maximum of 2 sealed or unopened water bottles per person into the stadium. Concessions will also be stocked with extra water. And don't forget that sunscreen as well. Fans will also be set up throughout the stadium, and additional staff will be on site in case there are any medical emergencies. Well, a big part of Badger football season is tailgating and hitting up the bars before and after kickoff. Kyle Pazorski visited some drinking holes near the stadium to see how they're preparing for an influx of customers.
Bars and restaurants here around Camp Randall tell me that obviously when football is back in season, they see a huge spike in business. It's one of the main reasons why anticipation is building ahead of tomorrow's Badger football game. Manager Drew McCauley of Jordan's Big Ten Pub says it's hard to imagine a world without Badger football. Unfortunately, many Regent Street businesses learned what that would be like during the pandemic.
Without Badger football, we would maybe struggle a little bit, but some more than others on Regent Street. We have lots of good food year-round, but football is definitely our moneymaker, so we look forward to people coming down and seeing us.
Anticipation for Saturday is growing at the many bars and restaurants. Many bar managers on Regent say that with a new head coach and fresh recruits, it's looking to be one of the busiest years in a long time. The bar managers here and around Camp Randall also tell me that while they love days when this stadium is packed, they also like other days when maybe there's a volleyball or basketball game going on. They get business in just the same way. Reporting here in Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Turning now to more local stories. A Madison man who investigators allege admitted to drinking before a crash, which killed a 14-year-old boy, will go to prison for 5 years. That's the sentence a judge handed down to Cedarius Goodall this morning. He pleaded guilty in April to a felony charge of hit and run involving death. Officers say Goodall was driving a vehicle down Schrader Road in January 2022 when he crashed into another vehicle, killing 14-year-old La Follette High School student Jeremiah Broomfield and sending 2 others to the hospital. Ahead of learning his fate, Goodall apologized in court for his actions that day.
I never leave my premises with malicious intent to harm anyone, man, woman, or child. I wouldn't hurt anyone. I don't never look to hurt nobody. I got 15 kids. I love kids.
Surveillance footage from a nearby Quick Trip allegedly shows Goodall leaving the scene of the crash. Investigators estimate he was driving 90 miles per hour right before impact. Visitations are back to normal at the Dane County Jail following a spike of COVID-19 cases last week. In-person visits had been suspended when more than 50 inmates tested positive for the virus. That number is now down to 10. Medical staff will remain at the jail around the clock to treat anyone showing signs of infection. The start of September brings big changes to food stamp eligibility. Congress made changes to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, that are now in place. Basically, more low-income Americans will be required to work in order to receive food stamps. Able-bodied adults up to 50 years old who do not have kids will now have to show proof they are working at least 80 hours a month or that they are enrolled in an education or training program to receive SNAP. People experiencing homelessness, veterans and adults up to 24 years old who aged out of foster care are exempt from the new mandates. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, about 750,000 adults could lose their benefits. The FDA says it still plans to finalize a ban on menthol cigarettes, but the agency is running behind schedule. In April of last year, when the FDA initially announced it was going to ban the popular flavor, it set a deadline of August 2023 to work out those details. Well, that deadline has come and gone, but it is still listed online. However, a spokesperson said the FDA will instead complete work on the rule in the coming months. Flavors in cigarettes were banned in 2009, but after lobbying pressure from the industry, menthol was left out of that ban. More local stories are still ahead at 6. Wisconsin Republicans have introduced a handful of bills hoping to make child care more affordable and accessible. It comes up as federal funding is set to expire by the end of this year. And our countdown to Badger kickoff coverage continues tonight at 10. We've been saying tomorrow will be hot, putting many fans at the game at risk of heat exhaustion. We're going to share what you can do to stay aware and alert tonight at 10.
This is Matt Gunderson. We recently celebrated the life of Margaret, who never let a cookie jar run empty. Her service was cookie-themed, with everyone enjoying her tasty treats. Allow us to personalize every detail of a life well lived.
Mark, a little help here?
Oh, keep it down. The noise is making them angry.
Whoa. Hey, I'm not a beekeeper, but I can replace these windows fast.
Let Feldco be the experts in your home renewal. Right now, buy one window and you'll get one free. Plus, no interest for 1 year. And we'll get it done Feldco fast.
Buy one, get one free ends Labor Day. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale is bigger than ever with huge savings throughout the store and hundreds of incredible bonus buys. Start with $100 off your purchase of $19.99 or more. Buy this sofa and love seat and get the recliner free. Plus, get this beverage cooler free when you spend $39.99 or more. Make it even easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. It's Steinhaffel's Labor Day sale. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Summer won't last forever, but with a great selection of vehicles during Toyota's national sales event, there is still time to capture new memories. Hey, how are you? With friends and family. Before it all flies by.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance program with roadside assistance. See your local Toyota dealer or visit toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Here's your parachute.
Certain it's okay? Are you 4imprint certain? Certainty matters, so congratulate coworkers or say thank you with promotional products from 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
For parents, having easy access to childcare can make all the difference, and a handful of new bills in the state capitol aim to help. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on what you need to know.
Well, Charlotte, the new package of bills makes some licensing changes to childcare here in Wisconsin, like would allow for a single person to care for more children. And it also creates a pre-tax savings account that parents can use to spend on childcare. Now, this is the first Republican proposal on childcare that we've seen recently, after Democrats have been pushing for months to spend more on childcare.
That surplus is one-time money, and childcare counts isn't going to be sustainable. So we need to look and try to find solutions to I have had people say we have a broken childcare system. So let's look at trying to find ways to fix that system.
Now, Republicans have argued that any more funding for child care would not be sustainable in the long term. This comes as later this month, the legislature will meet for a special session, in part on child care. Now, you can see more of our interview this Sunday on For the Record, airing after Face the Nation.
Will, thank you. Still to come, Gary's back with another check of the forecast. You're going to want to stay hydrated this weekend, as it is going to get hot.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are ground beef, $2.99 for a 1-pound roll.
select Pepsi products, $3.75 each when you buy 4. And Lay's, Kettle Cooked, or Munchies, $1.99 each when you buy 3. Only at Hy-Vee.
Did you get hit with big energy bills this summer? You aren't alone, and we want to help. Because if your house was hot this summer, it's going to be cold this winter, and heating and cooling is by far the biggest energy user in your home. That's why our foam insulation is such a great investment. Our best offer of the year just ended August 31st. But to help you get ready for winter, we're going to extend it until September 22nd. When we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
In a Class 3 casino, you're playing against the house, so there's no guarantee a player has to win, ever. And in a Class 2 casino, the players play against each other, and not the house. So someone always wins.
So you're saying...
He's saying if you want to win at something, you have to go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, a Class 2 casino where someone has to win.
How about this then?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I'm Randy Bump with Bump Farms, and this is my John Deere. So I'm a 6th generation farmer. Our farm was homesteaded here in 1846. I think the thing that makes Sloan stand out the most for me is probably the people, the products, and the service. Whether it's bulk oil delivery, bulk DEF delivery, the Sloan helpline, I mean, they're always there for me. And I've actually had them open up on a Sunday and get parts for me so I can keep a combine running. And that's why I think Sloan's first.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains, designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
It's Hy-Vee's Labor Day weekend sale this Friday through Sunday. Whole beef brisket, just $2.88 a pound. 6-pack Coke products, just $2.88. And buy one, get one free on Edie's ice cream. Only at Hy-Vee.
There's a traffic alert you need to know about for next week. On Wednesday, South Broome Street will fully close from West Wilson Street to John Nolan Drive. Construction has already closed inbound lanes, but now the outbound lanes will also close beginning 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Outbound traffic on South Bassett Street will need to detour on West Doty Street to North Bedford Street to North Shore Drive. This closure is expected to last 10 days, reopening by the end of Saturday, September 16th. Well, we know it is going to be hot these next few days, and so does the DNR. It's warning of increased fire risks in south and central areas of the state as temperatures rise over this holiday weekend. So the DNR is asking that you avoid any burning, including campfires, because of hot, dry, and windy conditions, which could spark a wildfire, even turning a small bonfire out of control. If you plan to spend time outside, be mindful of any off-road vehicles and other equipment which could drag chains and cause a spark. Fire crews have responded to 10 different wildfires in the last week, with more expected this weekend because of those forecasted conditions. And Gary, you've had your eye on this heat for a while with weather alert days in the forecast.
Yeah, and just in time for the Labor Day holiday weekend. Taking a look at the specific forecast, look for a high of 90 tomorrow, 96 on Sunday, and 95 on Monday, Labor Day. So it'll be breezy and dry as well. That will contribute to the elevated fire risk. It'll be a little more humid as we head toward Labor Day. That will also start to increase the heat index up to around 100 degrees or so, and we could see record high temperatures for both Sunday and Labor Day Monday. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. The heat wave will last through Tuesday of next week. It'll be dry and breezy, and again, that wildfire danger can't be neglected because of the fact that there'll be a lot of people outdoors this weekend. A lot of people want to do bonfires, of course, the end of the unofficial end of the summer season, and that's a good recipe for disaster. If you can get some sparks into dry grass and the brisk winds, that could take a fire out of control very quickly. And the humidity will start to increase toward the end of the holiday weekend, and that'll get heat index readings up to around 100 degrees. First warned weather alert days remain in the forecast from Saturday through Tuesday of next week for the high fire danger as well as the high heat. records certainly within reach. I'm thinking a high of 96 on Sunday. That would smash the record of 92 set back in 1960. The high of 95 forecast for Labor Day Monday would also break a record. We'd be just shy if we hit our forecast high of 92 on Tuesday. However, we could be close to a record for the warmest overnight low temperatures. Humidity levels start to increase. Take a look at future track heat index readings. Tomorrow, they are fairly dry. So temperature, the heat index, not much higher than the actual air temperature. Looking for a high of 90. Heat index late afternoon, about 91 here in Madison. But as we head into Sunday, temperatures in the mid-90s. So even though the humidity levels don't increase, the temperature does. So now we're starting to see heat index readings around 100 degrees west of Madison and probably upper 90s elsewhere. We get into Monday, again, mid-90s, a little more humidity. Now we're seeing triple-digit heat index readings, although just barely above 100 for most of southern Wisconsin. And even on Tuesday, temperatures might not be quite as hot, probably reaching the lower 90s, but still that gets heat index readings well into the mid to upper 90s across all of southern Wisconsin. Compare that to what we had for the last heat wave when the heat index was in some cases as high as 120 or higher. We're more in the heat-related illnesses possible range, especially if you're out in the sun. That just takes its toll on you. So be aware of that. Just drink extra water, stay hydrated, and try to stay in the shade as much as possible. Planning your night across Dane County. Actually a pretty nice night. 63 for the overnight low in Verona, 63 in Cottage Grove, and 61 in Dalyville. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, La Crosse dropping to 68. Monroe, though, 61, and Janesville at 60 degrees. Tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 90 degrees, partly sunny and hot. Still not too humid, so again, the heat index not much higher than the actual temperature, but the first one, 7 to 10 day forecast, we get up into the mid-90s for Sunday and Labor Day Monday. Tuesday, a little more humid, highs in the lower 90s. Thunderstorm chances from Tuesday night into Wednesday. Wednesday still humid, highs in the mid-80s, and then we drop the humidity as well as we head toward the latter part of next week, highs in the lower 80s, and then upper 70s by the end of next week with maybe another chance for a shower or thunderstorm.
Well, as you just saw, it is going to be hot this weekend. So with Labor Day marking the unofficial end of summer, some people may cool down in the lake over the next few days. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is reminding you to use smart judgment when it comes to safety and alcohol consumption. It recognizes that there will likely be more boats and watercraft out on the water as people try to stay cool on the last weekend of summer.
With the holiday weekend, we expect a lot of people from out of town to come up. A lot of locals will go out. We don't want people out here to have their good time ruined by someone over drinking, someone getting injured.
Deputies with the Sheriff's Office will be patrolling the lakes. The Sheriff's Office wants to remind you that when boats are moving, all passengers need to be seated. Deputies will also be making sure boats are properly lit so they can be seen from a distance after sunset. The Badgers have Big Ten championship aspirations this season, and they will finally get to chase that dream during tomorrow's football season opener at Camp Randall. And that's where News 3 Sports Director Zach Hanley is tonight.
Yeah, and coming up in sports, we're live right outside Camp Randall Stadium. The countdown to kickoff is down to just one more sleep, while the Badgers say they can't wait to finally hit somebody other than themselves. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Check out our lighting showroom and update your home's exterior. Patriot Lighting is available in so many unique styles and finishes, you're sure to find a look that's right for you. With more than 300 stock lights priced under $100. Pick up this Treehouse Outdoor Wall Light for $21.97 after 11% rebate. Visit our lighting showroom or check out all our lighting options on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Here's your parachute.
Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for imprint certain? Certainty matters. Like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
Right now, get a free footlong at Subway, like the Subway Series menu. Buy 1 footlong in the app, get 1 free. For free. That's what I'm talking about. Order in the Subway app today.
Congratulations to Madison Magazine for earning 9 awards in the Milwaukee Press Club Excellence in Wisconsin Journalism Competition, including top honors for Best Single Story or Feature Design and Best Feature Photograph. Wisconsin football launches into a new era with Luke Fickell at the controls. Meet the focused head coach who's setting the team's new course. And get ready for game day with your guide to Badger tailgating. Madison Magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Patty was seriously injured and needed Gruber Law Offices.
You know, there was this whole team that was there to take me from beginning to end. It was an incredible relief that I didn't have to worry about anything.
Gruber Law Offices. 1 call, that's all.
It all comes down to the final drive. News 3 Now brings you the big play highlights and scores from Southern Wisconsin high school football action. Don't miss the final drive. Fridays on News 3 Now at 10.
Well, the wait is finally over. It's almost game time. For the first time since December 27th, the Badgers will strap it up against another team, not themselves. But Saturday's home opener, season opener, isn't just the beginning of their season. It's Luke Fickell's first game as Wisconsin's head football coach. And the past 9 months, well, they've felt like an eternity to this group. They've been competing against each other during the spring, the summer, and in fall camp. And now that game day is less than 24 hours away, well, they just can't wait to hit somebody besides themselves.
Well, it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel so good. You know, you see the same guys every single day and everything. Now you go get someone that's like a different skill set or a different technique-wise. So it's going to be a very surreal moment.
We've competed for all of summer, all of spring, gone against our teammates for the longest time. And so now to hit someone in a different colored jersey with a different, different logo on the front of their jersey it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be great to see, the other guys doing it as well.
And speaking of great things, there isn't much better than being named a captain by your peers. And that's a reality for Chimere Dike. The Waukesha native will don the C on his chest this season for Wisconsin. And it's an honor the senior wideout will cherish for the rest of his life.
Growing up being a Badger fan, coming to see my close family friend Chico Abasi play, back when he was playing and knowing I wanted to be one of them, then getting the opportunity to come play here. It's probably the best honor of my life. Having the guys in the locker room that I care so much about, trust me to be one of the people that they look to, means a lot.
But before the Luke Fickell era kicks off in Madison, our new show, Wisconsin Huddle, debuts tonight in a couple minutes. Chimere Dike was my co-host for the first episode, where we talked Badger football, Badger volleyball, and even played some bags and Luke Fickell trivia. The show will run every Friday night at 6:30 during the football and basketball seasons. But it's also week 3 of the high school football season, so we'll have highlights of those games tonight at 10 on the final drive. Did I mention it's football season? I don't know if I'm ready yet. Back to you.
Zach, thank you. And as you heard Zach say, don't go anywhere. The debut of the Wisconsin Huddle is coming up next on News 3 Now. But before that, is it going to be hot, Gary?
Actually, should be pretty nice this evening. Temperatures probably in the 70s, so good for the fans in the stands today.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.